Hello and welcome to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League, live tonight from Watkins Glen for race 1 of the 2024 winter season. So glad to be back here. My name is Adam Baker and I will be your commentator here for V-Speed tonight. So great to be back with this league. It's been with us for a few years now. Looking forward to some exciting racing here tonight at one of the most exciting racetracks in the United States, Watkins Glen, my home track, and excited to get things started here. Drivers just wrapping up the qualifying session, and looking forward to see who comes out on top of that. Right now it is Andy Scheel, currently your fastest driver. Harley Lewis, Aaron Dietrich going to be the top three at the moment. But again, tonight's race here at Watkins Glen. Two 20-minute races tonight. This is the first race of the season, and looking forward to a very exciting one here tonight. This racetrack just, let's see here, just shy of 3 miles, or just around 3 miles with the boot configuration. The track map showing up there a little bit blank tonight, still working on that. You can see the one in the top right. That is going to be your racetrack layout this evening with the boot. And let's pull up our qualifying times. 14 drivers in the field this evening. And looking forward to some awesome racing from this set of drivers. And a lot of great talent out here. Put on a show for us as we are going to be headed to the starting grid in just a moment. We do want to give a shout out to the sponsors of this series that make everything possible. That is Matt Motorsports, new on board for this season, as well as Gunfire Games. You'll learn more about them at the halfway break, and gonna be excited to show you a bit of each of those sponsors. And we also do have Duncan Racing Designs, of course, on board once again this season. So good to have them around and joining in on the action here tonight. Let's take a look at our starting grid here this evening from Watkins Glen. It's going to be Andy Scheel in the Porsche 911 GT3 machine taking that top spot in qualifying. He's going to lead the field to the green flag. Harley Lewis just 2/10 off the pole time, going to roll off from the second position. Starting in third, it's going to be Aaron Dietrich, the BMW M4 machine. Michael Pavolano going to roll off in the fourth spot. Starting in fifth, it'll be Darren Treacle. Adam Pohl going to roll off from the sixth position. Seventh, going to be Dean Tulien. Brian Kennedy, eighth fastest qualifier. Perry Duncan rolling off ninth. Peter Lanik, 10th. Matthew Gazenda qualifies 11th. Scott Kim going to qualify in 12th. 13th, Sten Sellier. 14th, Jakub Vielik. And that is going to do it here for tonight's race qualifying. Of course, the field is inverted. I believe it's the top 10 going to get the invert. Actually, scratch that, top 12 inverted here as we are getting ready to roll off just at the end of the boot section of the racetrack. Make sure to cheer on your favorite drivers. Let us know you're out there and who you are rooting for here tonight at Watkins Glen in the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. We'll be back right here on V-Speed, the main channel, and we will be here all 10 weeks this season. Bring you the action from these drivers. Looking for a good start to this season here tonight. It will be Scott Kim in that bright green Ferrari, going to lead us to the green flag. Field rolls off the final corner here. We are about ready to get going. Wait for that green flag to fly, and there it is. Scott Kim, nice jump on the start, but here we go. Already 4 wide, headed down into turn number 1. And we all make it through, but it is going to be Matthew Gazenda taking away the top spot as they race off into turn number 2. In up the hill, up the S's. Drivers side by side, still trying to settle positions out, and nearly contact further back. That is the 12 machine of Aaron Dietrich, who nearly got into it, Michael Pavolano, as they come roaring up at the top of the hill. It's going to be Scott Kim falling back to 4th, but Matthew Gazenda out in front through the bus stop. Single file they go, no double file until you get to the back of the pack. things settled out for the moment as they race their way down into the boot. Good to see so many of these drivers back once again in the GT3 cars this season. They've got their choice of any GT3 machine, and we'll see which ones appear to have the strength here tonight. Aaron Treacle up into 7th, always a driver to keep an eye on in that blue and yellow Treacle Insurance Agency Mercedes, as we are accustomed to seeing him in. Head down into the heel of the boot and race back up towards the main NASCAR circuit. See what these drivers are able to do here tonight. Matthew Gazenda looking very strong to start things off, though. He's pulled about a 2 or 3 car length gap over Peter Lanick now up to the 2nd position. Brian Kennedy following along the top 3, and it looks like Scott Kim going to drop to the rear potentially, or he's headed to pit lane. Not too sure what that is all about. He will fall to the tail end of the pack, possibly a penalty of some sort, or trying to escape the craziness as out of turn 1, Poblano side by side. In the 111, that Porsche machine getting passed up by Andy Shield, who was the pole sitter. Keep an eye on the number 14 machine. They head into the bus stop. A bold move there by Darren Treacle, who's going to get around Aaron Dietrich. That is a difficult area to pass, but did a good job on board here with Aaron Dietrich. He takes a peek down into the boot. That's a nice run out of the corner there. He's going to be able to pull alongside. Let's see what kind of a move he's able to make. He'll have the outside line. Aaron Dietrich still hanging on to that position out of the corner. A little tire spin from the 12 machine. Up over the crest, headed down towards the heel of the boot once again. The 8 machine, Barry Duncan losing ground. Issues for him early on in this race. Already lost 4 spots. Now, almost in danger of losing another one is Dean Tulane actually going to make the pass, or at least get the nose out in front, headed down into turn number 10. Headed into turn number 11. They are still side by side. Good battle here, 8th and 9th position. Dean Tulane on the outside. That is Perry Duncan on the inside. 2 by 2 they go. Further up, Andy Shield looking to make a move. Not going to make it happen that time into turn 1. Just 16 minutes left in this race. Can't forget, at the end of this one, the top 10 or top 12, once again, also going to be inverted like they were from qualifying into race number 1. And I'll tell you what, those top 3, they have gotten away. Is Matthew Gazenda as he races down into the carousel. He's got 1.5 seconds over Brian Kennedy, and Peter Lanick going to come by in 3rd. That battle for 2nd, hot and heavy at the moment. They have pulled a gap over Adam Cole, who's in this crazy colored Porsche 911 machine, the Remnant 2 livery. Matt Motorsports on the windshield. And really awesome to have some new sponsors on board this season, and excited to show you more about that once again. Got a pass for position further back in the field. Stencellier, good to see Sten back. He's going to fall to 13th right now, right where he started. Harley Lewis trying to climb back up after a slow start in this one. Harley, driver that we are accustomed to seeing run up there in the top 5. Let's see if they're able to get up there. Close battles, really it is just that battle for 2nd. Brian Kennedy has closed it in now, up to Matthew Gazenda, possibly a mistake from the 52, and this is your battle for the top spot, racing up the S's. Ooh, nearly into the barrier The Armco barrier, that is. As they race now at the top of the hill, down the backstretch towards the bus stop, side by side for the race lead. Brian Kennedy, many a race winner here in this league. He's going to take the top spot early on. That'll push Matthew Gazenda back into second spot. We've had possibly an issue back here. Perry Duncan losing ground. Let's see if we can go find out what happened there. They were racing into the bus stop too wide, and ooh, just a little slow through that section, costing a couple of positions as we head back live. Falls back into the 12th spot. That is Perry Duncan, the gold and black machine. It's Brian Kennedy now already out to 1.3 seconds. Cannot believe how quickly he's made his way to the lead after starting in 5th. And now Matthew Gazenda under fire from Peter Lanik. That is the 3rd position. Right there behind him, Adam Cole starting to close the gap as well. But Darren Treacle has broken into the top 5. He's got a earful, though, of Andy Shield as they are racing down the front stretch. Out of turn number 1, still nose to tail, and it is going to be Treacle holding on to the spot for the moment, but another passing opportunity coming at the top of the backstretch. Battle right there, 5th and 6th. Andy Shield passed his car in qualifying. Here he goes, going to try and look drivers left down into the bus stop. And nobody is going to give an inch there. But nice, clean pass from Andy Shield. And that has brought Aaron Dietrich into the fold as well, battling for the top 5. What a great bit of racing we've seen already this season. It's only race 1, but you know these guys are comfortable around each other and putting on a good show already for the first half of race number 1. Side-by-side battle back here. That is Harley Lewis, Jakob Bielik. Side by side down into the heel of the boot. Again, nobody backing out. These guys are very comfortable with each other. Race up on the short stretch and into the wall they go. Contact between Harley Lewis and Jakob Bielik, and that is going to put a damper on things as we are going to go back and take a look at what just happened there. So, taking a look at Harley Lewis on the outside the 5 machine and Jakob Bielik down there on the inside. They just make contact coming out, and that turns around the 171, and that is what breaks the front control arm there on Harley's car, locking up the right front wheel. Jakob loses the spoiler, and you can see drivers having to avoid that situation. Looks like Jakob going to continue. Harley Lewis has brought it to pit lane. And trying to get a good view on that machine if they are attempting to repair it or not. I believe they do have a fast repair. But not seeing that car off the jack just yet, so obviously getting some service done well in the pit stop. Halfway point in race number 1 just ticked over. Really our first incident of the race happening just 10 minutes in, as Brian Kennedy out in front really wide through that corner. The gap to Peter Lanik right around 1.7 seconds. Battle on for 3rd now as Matthew Gazenda going to dive to the inside, or rather Adam Cole going to get by Matthew Gazenda and up exiting the boot. Cole and Shield get by Matthew Gazenda, who led the first 3 laps and now starting to fade just a little bit here. 10 minutes in, but nose to tail for 3rd place. Hope you are enjoying the broadcast so far. Been an exciting one from my seat. Looking forward to seeing how this one goes for the remainder of the distance as we have a battle side by side at the top of the S's down the backstretch. Adam Pole, Andy Shield. And nobody, again, giving an inch down through the bus stop and maybe a little contact right there through the center. And that's going to move Andy Shield continuing to climb through this field. 4.4 seconds away from your race leader as they head down into the boot. Man, some serious speed in these GT3 cars tonight. Fast laps in the 145s. And really everybody all within about 2 seconds of each other in terms of pace. So definitely competitive racing tonight. Of course, cheer on your favorite driver. Who do you think is going to win the first race tonight? Who's going to win race number 2? Big bobble there. Matthew Gazenda continuing to struggle in this second half of the race. He's falling back to the 7th spot in hang tights, number 52 Audi. Losing ground a little bit each lap. Probably about 3 seconds off pace. So your race leader, Brian Kennedy, who's now stretched his legs out to 2 seconds over Peter Lanik. Darren Treacle in that 5th spot is caught up to Adam Cole, who started to go the wrong direction as well. And he's going to pull alongside the Mercedes. That front engine horsepower. And pull that car into the 4th position, but these two going to try and duke it out, and around goes Treacle. Can he save it? Just a little touch on the wall. He's going to have to back up and get it rolling again. But that is going to cost him all that track position. Let's take a look at what happened right here as they went through the bus stop. Just a little bit of contact for Darren Treacle as he goes sliding, and was Aaron Dietrich able to avoid that, but I think it did cost him quite a bit of time. As we go back live, Treacle falls to 10th. Good group of cars. Matthew Gazenda, Aaron Dietrich, Dean Tulin. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th. Good battle going on at the moment here. Oh, and we've got a car around. That is Michael Pavolano. We just switched over. Taking a look at what happened coming out of turn number 10. Issues for Michael Pavolano, who we're used to seeing run so competitively at the front, just loses the handle and slams it into the outside barrier. Big hit, and hopefully able to keep it out of the way as a couple cars did come back by. Got a lot of damage. Going to try and finish this one out. Just 5 minutes left in race number 1. And it looks like Aaron Dietrich able to take 5th position away from Matthew Gazenda. Dean Tulin right there in tow. It's the number 12 car of Dietrich. Pull ahead. Matthew Gazenda gets out of the way, and there goes Dean Tulin up in the 6th. Biggest mover in this one, definitely Andy Shield. He is up 9 positions in this race. Second biggest mover is going to be Aaron Dietrich right here on screen. He's up 5 spots. 10th to 5th. He'll survive all this melee that seems to have happened nearby. Not slowing down one bit, still pushing that race car. So is Brian Kennedy. Just 4 minutes left in race 1. He's pulled the gap now, 2.4 seconds over Peter Lanik and Andy Shield, who is on a charge right here. Fastest car on the racetrack by about a half second a lap. If he can make quick work of the 9, he's going to look the driver's left through the S's. Not usually a pass you attempt to make, but obviously feels confident in the speed of that Porsche. He is going to take second away. Peter Lanik going to give it to him. Now that gap 2.7 seconds. Possibly less up to Brian Kennedy, who may have made a mistake there through the bus stop. And that margin falls to under 2 seconds for a brief moment. Keep an eye on this battle for the win. Can Andy Shield, fastest car in practice and qualifying, make his way through the field up to the top spot before the end of race 1? That would be so impressive. He could do that. Let's go on board with him here as he works towards the heel of the boot. And 2 minutes left. It's probably going to be 2 laps remaining in this one. And the gap down to 1.3 seconds. Shield continues to chip away. That time 1.3 seconds faster the previous lap. And that is going to bring things down most likely to the final lap of this race if he can continue pushing the car that hard. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the racing action here tonight. It's been an exciting one. And coming down to the final moments of the first heat race. As these drivers trying to set themselves up for the feature. Andy Shield on a tear right now. He is the one to watch. That number 14 closing in. Status is if we get the white flag. And that is the distance right there. About 3-4 car lengths headed down towards the heel of the boot. And the gap in terms of timing, just 9/10 of a second. It looks like Brian Kennedy a bit quicker on this end of the racetrack. It pushes a little wide through that corner, and that's going to close the gap another 10th or 2. Battle for the first heat race win of the season coming out of turn number 11. A little contact to the wall there with Andy Shield. Gonna lose a tiny bit of time. Hopefully no damage to the rear axle. White flag gonna show here for these 2 drivers. Does Andy Shield have enough time to get up there and battle and steal this away? We've saved enough of that race car. Has closed in using the draft down the backstretch. High speeds reaching 165 miles an hour into the bus stop. Hard on the brakes. A little bit of grass there from the 77. And he is just riding that line. Going to do everything he can. Andy Shield is at the bumper. Exiting the carousel down towards the boot. Going to go defensive here for the 77. Shield looks outside. Not going to make it happen on entry. Here he goes though. Nice one on exit. Using all of the curbing. Here we go into toe of the boot, up the straightaway. Another opportunity to gain some momentum, use that draft. Andy Shield just hanging tough right here. Into the braking zone, down into the heel of the boot. Oh man, really wide for Brian Kennedy. Does that open the door? No. 14 of Shield not able to make the move there. 2 more corners for Brian Kennedy to hang on to this. It is going to come down to the wire. What can Shield do? He's going to charge the corners there. Driving in deep. 1 more corner. But it is not going to be enough as Brian Kennedy out of turn 11. Here he comes to the start-finish line, and he'll win the heat race. Wow, what a battle there as Brian Kennedy takes that win. We'll see if there are any other battles. Slammed it into the barrier there. No other battles to speak of. Quite a few drivers yet to bring it in to victory, or past the start-finish line, rather. You can see the full ticker over there on the left. We're going to pull up the race results. It looks like everyone should finish about as they're running. So, race recap. Just 1 lead change. As Brian Kennedy taking it away from Matthew Gazenda, who ended up finishing in 9th here. As you see, those are your top 10 finishers. A couple more drivers yet to cross the line. That is going to be Darren Treacle and Scott Kim. Harley Lewis took it behind the wall after that issue earlier. And that is how your drivers should finish out here tonight. As Treacle crosses the line, 10 seconds or so, Scott Kim will be crossing the line. So that is going to do it for race number 1 here tonight. We are going to go to a quick commercial break. You'll hear from our sponsors this evening. And we will be right back with an interview with your top finisher and race number 2. From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email. Matt Motorsports is a sim racing rentals and events company. We supply businesses and individuals with sim rigs for all types of events, from birthdays and bachelor parties to team building retreats and corporate events. We have packages to suit all types of occasions. Founded by an automotive industry veteran and BMW lover, Matt Motorsports' mission is to spark joy in current and future car enthusiasts. Learn more at mattmotorsports.com. Gunfire Games, developers of the hit game Remnant 2 for PC, Xbox, and PS5. They are a great sponsor for this league. Check them out, gunfiregames.com, and their awesome new game, Remnant 2.
There isn't a one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life, so don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and give back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit. A custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver style. Subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Orange Speed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit orangespeedvantage.ai to get started.
We are back at the racetrack now. We're going to see if we can pull in Brian Kennedy, who is winner of race number 1. We'll see if we can find him here quickly to talk to him before race number 2 begins. Find him here, Mr. Brian Kennedy. Brian Kennedy, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Adam, I got a copy.
Hey, Brian, glad to be back and glad to be talking with you here. Great run there in race number 1. And, man, they gave you a challenge there at the end. And how are you feeling coming to those last few laps?
Yeah, definitely. I was watching Andy get closer and closer, even when he was behind Peter. And, you know, he was often a second a lap faster than me. So I think if there was one more lap in the race, he would have had me. But, yeah, I held on. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, definitely an intense finish there. And we can see you doing everything you could to keep that car in the racing line. But what's the approach here in race 2 as you got to make your way through the field?
Yeah, much further back. I had a so-so qualifying, and I got to start up much further in. So definitely going to be a challenge now. So I don't expect to finish as high, that's for sure. But it'll be fun.
Well, best of luck out there in race number 2 tonight, and go get them.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you. Brian Kennedy, winner of race number 1. He's going to be starting from the 12th position here in race number 2. Let's see what he is able to do. We are going to have Darren Treacle lead us to the green flag in this one. That blue and yellow Treacle Insurance Mercedes. Great jump on the start. And he is going to lead this battle for second down into turn number 1. And they are going to be able to settle that one out. Matthew Gazenda once again getting out towards the front very quickly. Keep an eye on Andy Shield. Once again, he charged through the field from 12th, and he's got 2 drivers in front of him side by side. Dean Tooley, Adam Cole. And it looks like Tooley going to give way to both of those drivers as they look to go into the bus stop side by side. Not going to do that, actually. And Brian Kennedy now, again, his work cut out for him in race number 2 after winning the heat race. Gonna have to charge his way through the field to get back up there into contention as Darren Treacle already pulling a 1-second lead over Matthew Gazenda. Nose to tail there for a second. We did have a change for position. Shield already making quick work of drivers further back. He's up to 8th. Now takes a look to drivers right on Peter Lanik. See if he can outbrake him into the heel of the boot, and he will do so. Oh, but they make contact, and Shield hard into the wall. And that is going to take his chance of winning back-to-back here tonight right out the window. Wow, so unexpected. That is racing for you. You just never know what is going to happen. As they made a little bit of contact, he got on the curb, pushed up a little wide, and then head on into the barrier. Carless off the ground, and you hate to see that. Let's go on board with him here and see if there's anything that we can see. Just kind of got hooked up, and man, really, just nothing you can do there. But hold on, and you're along for the ride. He will fall all the way back to the tail end of the field, 14th position. Is Darren Treacle out in front. We do want to thank you all for tuning in here tonight to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League from Watkins Glen. We are also live on this channel with the QSR simulators. Race number 7 at Rockingham. So if you're looking for that one, you can head to our main channel, check out the live tab. But if hopefully you are being pointed to this one, if that is what you're looking for, is Darren Treacle pulling away now 2 seconds over Matthew Gazenda, who's going to get a little off track. And here comes Michael Pavolano, who had his struggles in race 1, trying to get up to the 2nd spot early on. Those nose to tail, and further back, Jakob Bielik, he's under fire and pressure from Perry Duncan, who is going to take that position away, move Perry up to 4th, and single file behind him. Andy Shield, even with the damage, starting to close in on 12th and 13th. Not going to have the downforce on that race car that I'm sure he would like. Maybe a little bit more brake cooling, though. Darren Treacle just off and away right now, doing what Darren Treacle does, and that is just driving away from the field. Putting up a really good pace right now, 145 flat. Next fastest car, Andy Shield, 145.9. So even with all that damage, still putting up really good lap times. Micah Pavolano, 145.9 as well. Treacle, you gotta wonder if he's pushing a little too hard too early, but battle further back. Scott Kim, Harley Lewis. Harley gonna take away the 12th position. Also further up, we got contact in a car around. That is the 16th, Sten Sellier. As we are gonna head back and take a look at what happened to Sten. He made some contact, looks like with Jakob Bielik. Jakob in the bright orange machine, and they just get together nose to tail. I think that was, not sure who exactly, but the 12 machine also hard hit there. Aaron Dietrich probably broke the left front. Let's go back and see. Take a look at anything here. Oh, man, big hit for him as he's going to slam the outside wall. Able to keep rolling. Looks like the wheel is still attached, but maybe bent. Yeah, he is struggling with the handling on that car, so he'll have to bring it in and likely get repairs completed. Sten Sellier catching up. His damage pretty minimal, ultimately. And Jakob Bielik able to get away pretty much unscathed, but move Andy Shield back up to 11th and see if he can fight for a top 10, maybe even a top 5 before it's all said and done. And Matthew Gazenda is around, up here racing inside the top 5. I think he might have just lost it on his own. No cars around him. Gazenda, yeah, just going to loop it out of turn number 1. Tough place to get the power back down. And he has to wait until the rest of the field makes its way on past. Gazenda back to 12th position. Out in front still Darren Treacle, 3.5 seconds. No pressure at the moment. Let's see if Michael Pavolano is able to pour on the speed here and check it out. Battle further back. Harley Lewis, Dean Tulane. Andy Shield up to 9th. He's gotten around Scott Kim, and so nothing's holding down that 14 machine. This is a good set of battles right here. Adam Pohl in the 4th position. Brian Kennedy, Peter Lanik behind him. And Harley Lewis, Dean Tooley not too far behind. Brian Kennedy, he has really picked it up here. He's up to 5th. After a bit of a slow start in 12th. Survived the melee, and again, he's up 7 positions already. Harley Lewis also up 7. Aaron Treacle all by his lonesome here, racing down the backstretch. Michael Pavolano, next one, going to race on by, and then Perry Duncan. A little bit more action behind him as Adam Pohl, Peter Lanik going to fight for position into the bus stop. Pohl is not going to be phased by that attempt there from Brian. Looks like we maybe had an issue with Aaron Dietrich. too sure. It looks like we're maybe having some issues with his timing and scoring, but he's caught back up here. Or sorry, that is Stencellier who had the problem. He's still struggling with this race car. We're gonna see if we can take a look at what happened if he did lose some ground here. I'm not seeing anything at the moment. Side by side, Jakob Buick, Scott Kim, these two have been fighting for position for a little while. Scott charges hard in the corner, goes a little bit wide in the Ferrari. Looks like he's going to be able to take the spot away, and he's going to slide out of the final corner. Able to hang on to it, but man, that was a close call. Another look at that one. They make a little contact. He kind of came across the nose. Able to hang on to it though. And Kennedy trying to make that pass on Adam Cole and having a hard time doing it. They are still nose to tail. And they have caught up to Perry Duncan now for the final spot on the podium. Perry going to be looking out that mirror, and he has got 4 or 5 hungry drivers trying to make a point early in this season to get a good finish, get up there on the podium, and show that they're here to compete this season in the GT3s. Adam Cole a little slow off that corner. That allows Brian Kennedy to close in. Lanik and Lewis behind. We have contact. That is Brian Kennedy going to get involved. Perry Duncan involved. Not sure if it started with Perry Duncan and Adam Cole possibly. We're going to take a look here. He obviously had that pressure coming. Perry Duncan, number 8, that gold and black car. Loses the back end. Adam Cole able to evade, but nowhere for Brian Kennedy to go. Going to lose the nose on that car. Just kind of out of nowhere, big hit to the left rear wheel, and Perry Duncan going to fall back to the 9th position. Brian Kennedy just going to try and hang on to a top 5. It could come down to Brian Kennedy and Andy Shield possibly battling for position without noses on their race cars. I think Brian Kennedy's damage a bit more severe, though. That car has no front splitter. Big problems there for the 77, not going to be able to go back-to-back tonight. Harley and Lewis putting pressure on Peter Lanik, who's able to get up into 4th. Adam Cole has found his way into 3rd. Look at that move by Harley Lewis, trying to go the long way around. It's going to get a great run down the short stretch here in the boot. They are going to head in side by side. Lanik a little early on the brakes, charging the corner though in the center. These two side by side as they get back onto the main track. Brian Kennedy right there with them. This is a row of 5 cars, nose to tail. 2 of them with no nose. Interesting to see how things shake out amongst this group, but only 7.5 minutes remaining. Darren Treacle out in front. He has led every single lap in this one, and we've seen that a lot from Darren. He is forced to be reckoned with here in this league. Struggled in race number 1, ended up finishing in the 12th position, and going to get maximum points here in race number 2. Let's see what he's able to do with that. Brian Kennedy struggling with that damage. He's going to get passed up on the backstretch. Andy Shield going to move to 7th, and off the racetrack goes Peter Lanik. Not sure what happened here, if he just charged the bus stop a little bit too hard, but oh, he hit the curb all wrong, and that upset the balance of the race car. And man, really close call as well. I think that was Dean Tooling who ended up going for a little off-road excursion. And would you have thought of Andy Shield up into the top 5? After starting 11th and getting that damage on lap 1, he's charged through and 16 seconds off the leader. The top 2 entirely broken away. It is Darren Treacle, Mike Papalano, separated by 3.5 seconds, but then it's 9 seconds back to 3rd place Adam Pohl, and he's hanging on nicely in 3rd, but don't count out Harley Lewis to get up there for a podium. Battle 5th, 6th, and 7th. Looks like Andy Shield might be starting to pull away though. Really good speed. Still in that 14. About a second quicker than these two behind him now. You can see how much that 77 is hurting on the straightaways. He's going to lose that spot now. D. Tooling back up to 6th, but he gets all over that curb again, and that has really been a problem for some of these drivers tonight. Further back, Jakob Felix, Stencelier, 11th and 12th, battling for position. That can come down to the final couple of laps. Keep an eye on this battle. This is the closest one on track. These three pretty tight together. Dean Tooling trying to pick up some cues from Andy Shield, fastest car in qualifying and in race 1. It looks like Brian Kennedy still hanging tough here in 7th. Just under 5 minutes left in this one. Actually under 4 now. Hope you are enjoying the action tonight from Watkins Glen. If you are just tuning in, the BMW Car Club of America National Capital chapter at Watkins Glen, race number 1 in their winter series. Second race of the night. Race 1 went to Brian Kennedy in a great battle with Andy Shield coming to the end. Those two both involved in incidents in race number 2 tonight. And it's been all Darren Treacle at the front, so really couldn't ask for more different races. Race 1 super clean and tight racing, and this one has been a blowout really by the 70. He has just driven away from the field. Still putting up some of the fastest laps. Harley Lewis able to top him last time around, but pretty good so far for Darren Treacle, who's just out here cruising. Mike Papalano pushing really hard, though. He has started to gain just a touch on this lap. Let's see if he's able to do anything. That's where he made a mistake in the last race. Don't want to make that same mistake so close to the end here with a chance for a podium finish. Driver's starting to separate a little bit more. Ooh, Scott Kim has lost the entire front end on the 7-Eleven. That has allowed Stencelier back into the top 10. Scott try and make a move here. Gotta remember, he doesn't have any front downforce, so car is probably not going to want to turn super well. trying to keep up with Andy Shield. This is for a top 5 finish. We should be coming back to the white flag when Darren Treacle makes his way to the start-finish line, and he has dominated this one, led all 10 laps. At this point, he'll likely lead this one as Pavolano not able to close any further. Really, I think the battle is going to be on for third as Adam Pohl starting to lose a little bit of ground. And the gap just about 8 or 9 tenths of a second to Harley Lewis, who is really just on a charge in this one, up from 14th to 4th. So we will keep an eye on this one and on the race leader. Treacle 2 more corners and coming back to the white flag for his first win of the season right here in race number 1. The white flag being shown. Darren Treacle 3.5 seconds in hand. Final lap. And let's keep an eye on third place. Harley Lewis trying to charge. And the 2 Porsches going to have to duke it out for that final step of the podium. Harley Lewis and his charge in this one. Adam Pohl up 6 positions himself from 9th to 3rd. Andy Shield, after the issues, still up 6 spots. And should be coming out of here with the top 5. But Dean Tulien also going to be challenging for that spot. That's just a car length between those 2. Dean wants to get up there on inside the top 5. And he's going to try and take a peek down into the bus stop, but backs out early. Could cost him an effort. Or an opportunity, rather. Harley Lewis into that wake of air. He's stirred up by Adam Pohl, so maybe going to have some trouble as he's gotten within 6 or 7 tenths. And there's the lap machine. Jakub Bielik up the road. Darren Treacle at the other end of the boot. Making his way towards the finish of this race. And how about this? It's coming down to 4 tenths of a second. Even less as here comes Harley Lewis with a nice drive through the boot. Can he get even closer? But it is going to be Darren Treacle through turn 10, now coming through turn number 11. Darren Treacle going to win the first feature race of the season here at Watkins Glen. Congratulations to Darren Treacle. Let's take a look at third place Adam Pohl. He is going to be able to hang on. Unless there's a crucial mistake right here in the final seconds, but doesn't appear that that is going to be the case. And Dean Tulien, does he have anything to get back by him by the start-finish line? It is going to be close, but Andy Shield hangs on for a top 5. What a great drive by so many in this one as cars piling into turn 1, as is tradition here in this league. We do have a battle further back. Scott Kim and Sten Sellier. Then it looks like Sten going to be able to hang on for 10th position. Count should come by here in 11th, and then Aaron Dietrich and Jakub Bielik. Matthew Gazenda going to round out your field here tonight. But how about Darren Treacle taking the win here tonight in the feature race? We are going to come back after a quick commercial break, and we will talk to Darren and the top 3 finishers and pick our driver of the day. From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, Trading Paints, or via email. here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count after 37.
Oh!
Cabot,
where did he come from? Here comes Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back at the racetrack now, going to be talking to our race winner here in the first race of the season. That is going to be Darren Treacle. Let's see if we can pull Darren in. We got Darren in here. Let's see. Hey Darren, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do, Adam. How are you?
Hey, pretty good, man. And wow, what an amazing race from you there. Really, not a lot of pressure. Probably felt a little bit easy for you here in race number 2. Just describe your night, race 1 and race 2.
Yeah, you know, it was okay night. I would have liked to have gone a little better in race 1, but I don't know if that Mercedes was the car to have. Apparently, I was the only one that had it. But I also choose it because it's the best sounding car out there. So, you know, I guess I'll have to sacrifice the handling or whatever for the sound. So
yeah,
it is what it is, you know.
It is definitely a great sounding race car, and you definitely put up a really good pace there in race number 2. 145s pretty consistently. Looked very strong out there, and a good recovery from race number 1. I'm taking a look at where we're going next week. Here. Schedule. All right, there it is. Yeah, we are going to Zolder next week. How do you feel about going out there?
I'll have to. I'm pretty sure we've been there before. I don't know. Honestly, can't really tell you. I don't even remember running there if we did. I'll be completely honest. I have to look to see if I even own the track.
That's one of those that it's a name that I see and I recognize it's a racetrack, but it's like I couldn't tell you what it looks like or where it is. But
I mean, I assume maybe we've run there before. I'm not 100% sure. If I own the track, then there's a good chance that we did.
Yeah, I think we might have run there a few seasons back, but I don't know if it was in these GT3 machines. So, you know, even if you have run there, right, it could be a new experience for everybody. But
it is, yeah, you know, different car, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know, if I haven't been there, I guess I'll buy it loaded and do some laps beforehand.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan, and
yeah.
But you take the win here in the season opener, the feature race tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, you know, the usual, myself, Treacle Insurance Agency, Scott. I'll be honest, Scott, for setting this up. I'll be honest with you, I'm not even 100% sure who the league sponsors are this season. But those guys as well, whoever they are. And you for putting on the broadcast. Yeah, it's Zanderford, right? Or no, Zolder.
Yeah, Zolder. Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I have Zanderford, not Zolder.
Yeah, Zandvoort we're going to later in the season. So both of the Z tracks there, you get a good chance.
Oh, I do have Zolder, so apparently I've been there at least once.
Well, I'm sure you'll be in competition to fight for the win. So great run here tonight.
Yeah.
And congrats, and we will catch you next week.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. Let's go to second place finisher. That's going to be Michael Pavolano as we pull him in. Hey, Mike, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Got you, Adam. Got me?
Yep, I got you. And second place finish here tonight at Watkins Glen in the season opener, and a better effort there in the feature race than in the heat race. But just describe your night all around in these GT3 machines.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I drove the GT3, so, you know, the season really is when I got started to race them, but starting to get used to it. The Porsche was a little bit tricky, so I was just try to make sure that I don't lose the rear end like on the first race, and just try to keep up with Darren. Once Darren gets going, it's it's just maintaining the the same distance there, right? So yeah, but overall it's good. I think the second race got the hang of the car, and it's a good finish.
Yeah, and I think you had the fastest lap in the feature race, and you did really maintain that gap. It never really changed much from about 3.5 seconds all race long, so definitely had the speed to get up there and battle for it if you were able to close that distance. But we go to Zolder next week. How do you feel about going out there?
Actually, I like that track. A lot of technical bits to it. So I think I got to practice a few different cars to see what best suits the track. But yeah, excited about it. Like that track.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll see you up there fighting for the win as we see almost each and every week. So congrats on second place. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to again everybody that comes out in the league. As you can see, I mean the caliber of racing here just it gets better and better every season. NCC Sim Racing, Scott, our admin, and the sponsors. Really, I mean, without the sponsors, this really wouldn't be possible. So Duncan Racing Designs, Gunfire Games, and Mate Motorsports. So thank you to those.
Awesome, Mike. Well, congrats again on a great run here tonight, and we'll catch you next week.
Excellent. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you. And now let's go to third place finisher. That's going to be Mr. Adam Pohl. Adam Pohl, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do. How are you tonight?
Hey, pretty good, man, and a good run for you here in race number 2. And man, there was a lot of action around you there in the last 5 or 6 minutes, and you're able to hold on for a podium finish. But just describe your night in both of these races.
Yeah, it was a lot of tight racing, and feel like the second race I didn't really pass a whole lot of people making my way towards the front. It was guys crashing in front of me and me getting lucky and making my way around them. So and then Harley was breathing down my neck towards the end there, so I had to keep the pace up.
Yeah, definitely put down some pretty good laps there. All the top 4 of you guys were within 3 or 4 tenths of each other, and consistently running very equivalent lap time. So you can see the speed in this league continues to just get better and better, and everybody more and more competitive. So
yep,
able to get a podium finish here in race 1, definitely impressive.
Yeah.
We head to Zolder next week. How do you feel about going out there?
It should be fun. It's been a while since I've raced there, but there's some fun curbs and things like that at that track, and some good speed around there. So should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure there's a few guys who maybe don't have much experience there, but I know it's going to be a good show, as it is each and every week with you. But third place finish here tonight, and anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Our league sponsors, we got a couple of new ones this year. So Matt Motorsports and Matt Kuzenda's company, Gunfire Games, and then of course Perry Duncan with Duncan Racing Designs, doing all our nice liveries. So thanks to all of them.
Awesome, Adam. Well, congrats on a great run here tonight, and we will catch you next week at Zolder.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Have a good night.
You too. That is Adam Pohl, and we are going to go to our driver of the day. And that is going to be Andy Scheel. We talked about him a lot during this broadcast. He didn't win either of the races. He did qualify fastest. He was fastest in practice. See if we can pull him in if he is here, but it doesn't look like it. But either way, we are going to call him driver of the day after a tremendous effort here in race number 2 to get up here into the top 5 and recover from that damage. He was at 1.14th and well behind the field, and I think ultimately only lost about 3 more seconds to Darren Treacle, and at one point was even closer than he was when he initially crashed there. So definitely a strong run and charge there in race number 1 to get up to second. So he's going to come away with a lot of points after tonight's race, and looking forward to seeing what he can do next week at Zolder as well. We do want to thank you for tuning in here. Let's run through the final results before we head out for the evening, as we are going to go to check out the recap. Darren Treacle gonna lead start to finish in this one, and trying to see if the race results are gonna pop up for us. Doesn't look like they will. So either way, let's go through it. Yep, nothing is working there for me, so not too sure exactly what the situation is, but we can go through our finishing positions manually. That is going to be Darren Treacle. Actually, you know what? I think we can pull up the ticker here. There's going to be your 14 finishers, and we'll get the results figured out for next week. I'm not sure if it's an iRacing glitch or something with the session, but we'll get that figured out. Darren Treacle going to win the feature race. Michael Pavolano, he's going to come home in the second spot. Adam Pole third. That is going to be Harley Lewis in fourth. Andy Shield, strong top five once again. Dean Tooley in sixth place. Brian Kennedy seventh. Harry Duncan in eighth. Stencelier in ninth. Scott Kim going to round out the top 10. Good recovery for him after some late issues. Aaron Dietrich going to finish 11th. Jakub Bielik going to be 12th. Peter Lanik 13th. And Matthew Gazenda going to round out the field in 14th. Again, we all want to give a big shout out here from V-Speed to the sponsors of this series. That's going to be Gunfire Games, Duncan Racing Design, and Matt Motorsports. You can check them out in the video description below. Make sure you check those guys out and support them. And also to Orange Speed. Check them out. Orange Speed Vantage AI, a new setup tool using AI to help you improve your setup and reduce the time to do so. So check that out. That'll link also in the description. We do want to thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed tonight's race. We'll be back next week with the BMW Car Club of America from Zolder. So we will catch you all then.